The biblical drama House of David returns on Prime Video with Season 2, continuing the epic journey of David, from shepherd to warrior to future king. The season opens immediately after David's dramatic victory over Goliath in the Valley of Elah, but the conflict between Israel and the Philistines is far from over. The first 2 episodes depict the brutal aftermath of the battle and its wide-ranging consequences for David, King Saul, and the royal family. The war at the Valley of Elah Season 2 begins in the heat of battle. David, now wielding Goliath's colossal sword, struggles due to his lack of sword-fighting experience but survives, thanks to support from Prince Jonathan, Commander Abner, and Joab. David's brothers, especially Eliab, fight to protect him from Philistine retaliation, given that Goliath's death made him a target. Eliab kills one of the Philistine kings, turning the tide in Israel's favor. Jonathan injures King Achish, forcing him to retreat temporarily. Meanwhile, Saul's daughters, Michal and Merab, are caught near the battlefield. Defying orders to stay hidden, they escape a Philistine ambush. Michal's childhood combat training helps her fend off attackers, while Merab shows bravery in defending her sister. Their survival reinforces the growing strength and unity of Saul's household during wartime. Prophet Samuel, overlooking the battlefield, prays for divine intervention. Though targeted by Philistine soldiers, Samuel fights them off and plays a symbolic role in Israel's spiritual and eventual military victory. The Philistines retreat and the Israelites claim a hard-fought win, though King Achish escapes, vowing revenge. King Saul's downward spiral. Saul, having stayed away from the battlefield, eventually joins the fight. Burdened by past sins, especially disobeying God's command to kill Amalekite King Agag, he begins hallucinating. Saul imagines confronting Agag again, symbolizing his inner guilt and continued spiritual downfall. In his delusion, Saul kills a Philistine soldier, mistaking him for Agag. While Saul remains trapped in his visions, he is nearly killed by King Achish, who seeks revenge for the execution of his father, King Maok, years earlier. Jonathan and David intervene just in time, saving Saul. Achish is carried off by Goliath's surviving giant brothers. Saul returns to Gibeah, celebrating victory, but his moral and spiritual weaknesses remain unresolved. Philistine retaliation and iron weapons. Back in Gath, King Achish is confronted by Daganor, son of a fallen Philistine king. Daganor presents him with a new iron-forged sword, stronger than any existing weapon, signaling the beginning of a technological shift with the Iron Age. Despite their defeat, Achish and Daganor begin planning their next move to conquer Israel. Jonathan's healing and romance. Injured in battle, Jonathan begins to suffer from infection. A palace servant, Kaziah, takes him to a healer, where he meets Sarah, the healer's granddaughter. Sarah discovers a broken arrowhead in his wound and removes it, saving his life. A bond forms between the two, and Jonathan asks her to return with him to the palace. However, there's a hint of tension, as Sarah may resent Jonathan's family for causing her brother's death in a previous political intrigue in the royal family. David is welcomed into the royal family as a hero and is promised a marriage to Michal. However, Saul's exiled son, Eshbal, manipulates his sister Merab into convincing their father to reconsider. Out of jealousy and political ambition, Saul announces David's engagement to Merab instead. This betrayal leaves David stunned and Michal heartbroken, setting up future conflict within the royal house. Samuel's escape and continued defiance. Samuel refuses to re-anoint Saul as king, claiming he has received no divine instruction. Saul, angered, imprisons him. Yet Samuel escapes, confronting both Abner and the treacherous servant Doeg, exposing their inner darkness. His escape hints at further divine opposition to Saul's rule.